Welcome, sports fans. Welcome back to this or that Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting, and everything sports topics, discussions, and debates on the internet. But before I get into today's video, don't forget to like this one, leave a comment, and subscribe to this or that Sports TV. But one more thing from me, that's to share the video to at least 10 people, get to 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that would get us by the end of the day? Yes, 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 people. And as you know, it's Reggae Boy time again, or Reggae Boy time just concluded. And I'm here to sum it up for you. I'm here to give you some perspective again. And as decided Sports TV always do, we give you some more things to think about, some more added perspective, is it? So let's talk about it. Obviously, we know that the first window in the final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers just kicked off in September. September window just concluded, and Jamaica played their first two games in the final round, where we took on Bermuda away, and then we played Trinidad and Tobago at home in the office. Jamaica won both games. Some might say convincingly. Others might say not so convincingly, but we beat Bermuda 4-0 at their place, and then Trinidad and Tobago came to our place, and we beat them in a 2-0 victory. In the first game, obviously we know Damian Lowe scored. A few other players scored. Cephas and then Shamanikasi came on and tapped tough. And then in the second game, Bailey Kadamati got his goal that he's been longing for. In the first game, he was supposed to be on the score sheet at least 1, 2, or 3 times. You see me? He got his goal. And then John Russell got the second goal to round it off. Obviously, it was close. They thought it was offside, handball, governance, and Jamaica got the goal. So, after 2 games out of 6 in the final round of World Cup qualifiers, Jamaica has 6 points out of 6 points, standing firmly at the top of the table, looking like they're going to be the team to progress to the next round. And so just again giving you some added perspective about it, giving you my opinion on what I saw from the Reggae Boys, and I could just discuss it a little bit, especially in the comment section. People, let's talk about it. So, what were my initial reaction from the 2 games? Telling you the truth, I wasn't surprised, I wasn't excited, and I wasn't disappointed. I'm telling you the truth. I saw exactly what I expected to see from these Reggae Boys. They showed us exactly what they've shown us over the past 3, 4, 5 years. These Reggae Boys are inconsistent. These Reggae Boys, um, some would say, get built up by their quality time and time again. And I'm talking about individual quality, not necessarily quality as a team. And so going into this World Cup qualifiers campaign, I've told people over and over and over, this Reggae Boys team will make it to the World Cup not because we are so good, but because these 3 teams that we have in our group are so bad. That is why we'll make it to the World Cup. And so I guess we should feel excited, and we should feel like we're doing something good, yes. But it is not because we're playing this great football. It's not because we're this great team. We are just blessed that we have dual nationals. We are just blessed that we are, we've spread our seed wide, far and wide across the world. And we have players that can represent us that have been developed by other countries, namely England and USA. You see me? That are really where I build right now, because we have individual quality that is going to dominate the Caribbean. That is all that is bailing us out. I didn't see anything new. I didn't see Jamaica looking like we can play any football. I didn't see Jamaica looking any worse than we've looked. You get me? I say it's just plain old, same old, same old. You see me? I watched those games. I wasn't upset. I wasn't surprised. I just saw exactly what I expected to see. Inconsistent play, no midfield, individual wingers trying to do their thing, and then teams eventually finding out that we're going to our attackers, going to our wingers, doubling up on our wingers, and then we have nothing else left in the game. We're just relying on counter attack and set pieces. A disjointed team. You see me? So that is what I saw from the Reggae Boys. That is that. Those are my initial reaction from the 2 games. Nothing special, nothing bad, just same old Reggae Boys. And I don't want people to get ahead of themselves with these 2 results. These 2 results came against Bermuda and Trinidad and Tobago. And people, I don't care if nobody wants to say, oh, football don't play on paper. I said it a couple months ago. I said it a couple weeks ago. Them game and play on paper. We are going to beat these teams comfortably. We didn't have 5, 6, 7 of our starters, and we still comfortably won these games. You see me? That is how far the gap between Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean is. You have to understand that. And people don't understand. Oh, Bermuda go beat because we're not good. Yes, we're not good, but you have to understand, say Bermuda was not good. Yeah, they are worse than us, and that is good. That is essentially what is going to save us in these World Cup qualifiers. So that people. But we're gonna get into the crux of the two games, and not even just the two games. We're gonna talk about the window as a whole. Because I never do a preview, I never do a post match analysis, I never do a tactical review. So I'm just gonna sum up the two games into one and talk about some things that I saw from the two games. Because it was almost the same game played twice with a different opponent. You see me? So some good things that I saw in the two games. Let's talk about it. The first thing that I'm going to say is that the fan base is being rejuvenated. The fan base feels excited. And these two results, whether majority of the fan base understood that we were playing against minnows compared to Jamaica or not, whether they understood that or not, it gave us confidence that we're going to make it to the World Cup. You know, a lot more people are excited. A lot more people want to see the next window. A lot more people are saying, yeah, hey, I book my ticket and I go World Cup. So that is exciting. That gives me hope that the national stadium will be full come November. Obviously, we have an October window, but me I talk about when the final game I go play against Curacao at home, I think. We need to check that. I think we have Curacao at home as the final game. When that game is going to be played, it is looking like we're going to have a full house. And we can tell from these two performances and from what I'm seeing on social media and on YouTube and on people talking about this Jamaica team, yes, the problems are still there, but people are getting more confident because the results are coming. You see me? And so I have to give Jamaica some props. And on this confident point for me, which is the first positive that I took from these two games, the fan base getting more confident. I must say, people, put this into perspective. Yes, these reggae boys have an all Caribbean group, and Jamaica is by far the best team in the Caribbean. We all know that. But don't take it for granted that we made it to this point where we have an all Caribbean group. We fought for this group. Remember that we were in the first round group with Guatemala and we fought and we made sure that we topped that group. Obviously BVA and those teams were also in the group. And everybody had to play against everybody. You see me? And so we fought to make it into this easy group. And Guatemala made it into a group where they're going to be struggling. They were in a harder group because they finished second in the first round. We finished first in the first round. We topped our group. And so when we made it to this easy group, it's because we worked for it. Now the performances leading up to that point were not necessarily good, but we fought for it. And so it placed us into an easy group. And that is okay. That is okay, people. So we deserve to be in this point and we earned our spot into this easy group. And so we deserve to make it to the World Cup if we finish on top of this group. That's the first thing I'm going to talk about. The fan base is getting filled with confidence from the two performances. The second thing I'm going to talk about, which is a positive from the two games, is Bailey Kadamateri seems to be the forward that Jamaica has been longing for a while. Obviously, Shamar Nicholson was leading the line for umpteen years, and Shamar Nicholson started hot, but it petered off towards the end, where it just seemed like Shamar Nicholson lost some pace. Shamar Nicholson lost his clinical ability. He lost his eye for goal. He lost his ability to create space for himself. He lost just some touch around the goal, and so we started to look for the options outside of Shamar Nicholson, and so we found a Mikel Antonio up top. You know, Mikel Antonio led the line for us for a couple of games. Obviously, Mikel Antonio is no spring chicken anymore. He's getting up there in age. And so, obviously, he had the car cash and all. So, we had to look for other players. We had Warner Brown lead the line for a couple of games, especially in the Gold Cup. We see Warner Brown. We're excited about Warner Brown. It's not as polished as we want him to be. But this kid, Bailey Kadamateri, I think he's exactly what this front three needs. I think he's a game winner. I think he's a player that can create his own goal out of nothing. I think he's a player that can find space on the field. And more than anything, I think he's a player that has that knack for a goal. That is what I'm talking about. And that is what this Jamaican team needs. We're not going to get a midfield, people. We can't just buy players on the transfer market. We have to use what we have. And what we have is a pace-poor midfield. Straight up and down. And so we need players that are going to win the game from us, from other areas and all over the field. Obviously, we have defenders that can score a goal. We have Alembi Kisa who can score a goal. We have Damian Lowe who can score a goal. Right? We have wingers that can score a goal. We need the forward. We are going to bag some goals. And me and Joe Marda talked about the game actually a couple of days ago while it was going on. And him say, Bailey Kadamati have the ability where he should be thinking about passing up Luton Shelton as the leading goal scorer for the nation. What, 35 goals? That's not that hard to get when you started playing for the country at 20 years old. You know, and you're going to play at the Caribbean teams. You're going to have competitions playing, probably more than Luton Shelton had to play. So that is where his ability is. That is where his mindset should be. And I agree with Jomar. I think he should be looking to at least challenge to be the top goal scorer for Jamaica. play out all your career with Jamaica, score some goals, and be the man that leads the line for Jamaica for the foreseeable future. No, again, just to talk about Karamate a little bit, I think his situation is a bit weird. Obviously, people are gonna forget, because nobody. I always tell you guys, nobody argues with a winner. We tried after Karamate, I think 2 years ago. I think Steve McLaren was in charge, where he committed to come and play for us. He was going to come. Then the England under 21 call him, and him refused to come, and then him take up the England under 21 call up. See? No, Karamate is a smart kid. Because him say, yo, Jamaica get that easy group here. Him say Jamaica can make it to the World Cup with or without him. Why not hop on the bandwagon? Why not now embrace the people and make the people embrace you? Be a part of the journey, be a part of making it to the World Cup, and eventually get there and perform. Obviously, I'm also supposed to look and say, oh, I lead the line. Oh, this kid that also plays in Jamaica. Oh, I'm better than him. Who? Shamani Kaza that plays in Mexico. Oh, I'm better than him. Oh, Mikel Antonio that is playing in Premier League toward under 21s at West Ham. Oh, I'm better than him at the moment. You have a spot of wait on you. And so he is smart. Yes, he waited to see that Jamaica is going to qualify for the World Cup, but hey, it comes with the territory. Players are smart. Players are not going to commit to something that they're not sure about. They're not going to commit to something that is not going to work for them in the future, in the long run. You see me? So he came, and I'm happy that he came. But me just give some added perspective around that. People can't to stick on the facts and they turn it on and know him come. Him come, him embrace me, and him willing to fight for the badge. So good on him. The third positive that I took from the game was that Damian Lowe looks as confident as ever. Damian Lowe looks like the leader that Jamaica needs. Damian Lowe stepped up when Andre Blake was missing and became the rock for this Jamaican team. And I think people need to ease off of the Damian Lowe slander train. People need to ease off of the Damian fighter train. Because I don't know why people insist on bashing Damian Lowe. Why people insist on calling Damian Lowe a walking red card. And this man has played over 70 odd games for the country and him not get 3 red card or 4 red card. You see me, I don't understand why people insist on bringing down Damian Lowe. I don't get it. Damian Lowe is one of our best defenders. And Damian Lowe, dare I say it, is our most consistent defender. You see me? Especially at the moment. Damian Lowe is a rock for our team. Damian Lowe is the heart and soul of this Jamaican team. Why do these Jamaican supporters insist on bringing down Damian Lowe? I don't get it. I don't get it. And these two performances also show that Damian Lowe is a class above the rest of players in that backline. It also shows that he's a leader in that backline. It also shows that he's the voice of this dressing room. It also shows that everybody look to him to lead them. Come on, people. We don't have to come off of the Damian Lowe slander train now, people. Come on, man. Damian Lowe, the man, obviously not my favorite player, so I probably say this a little bit biased. But me not care what nobody wants to say. Damian Lowe has been remarkable in these 2 games. Obviously, I understand that he's a hard tackler. I understand that he might be reckless a lot of times, but he knows that he has the pace, he knows that he has the power, he knows that he has the skill to get himself out of tight situations. He's a great chaser of the ball, so he chases a lot. You get me? I say a little bit over exuberant when it comes to sliding in or lunging into tackles. I get it. He's a hard tackler. A lot of times he's irrational. I get it. But don't act like Damian Lowe on the ball of people. And I think these 2 results shows the Jamaican supporters that Damian Lowe is one of our best defenders. Albeit we can't put too much into it because we're playing against Caribbean teams and Jamaica is by far and wide the best team in the Caribbean. But you have to play who in front of you, and everybody on the pitch was playing against the same opposition. And Damian Lowe was just, I think for the 2 games, Damian Lowe and Ronaldo Cephas were the 2 best players on the park. Straight up and down. The next positive, which I think is the fourth, is Isaac Hayden. I think Isaac Hayden shows that with a little bit more match fitness, with a little bit more belief in himself or with the coach's belief, with a little bit more support from his team, him can be the maestro in this Jamaican midfield. You know, a lot of times I see Isaac Hayden get the ball on the half turn, him make the half turn, him try ping a pass, him try break a line, him try just keep it ticking over. But him pass it to Dexter Lemikisa, can't control the ball. Or him pass it out to Greg Lee, can't control the ball. Or him try for break a line, the man them not attack the ball. You know, these are the things that I'm talking about. And because we don't have a good supporting cast in that midfield around him, it seems like he's going to also struggle in the midfield. But he's the best of the bunch so far, and I think it's a positive that we are seeing him running the game in patches. He never do it consistently for 90 minutes over 2 games, or 180 minutes over the 2 games, but in patches, I see him orchestrating and running the game and directing traffic for a while. And so I like that. But I think this is where the coach needs to come in. I'm going to get to my negatives. This is where the coach needs to come in and have a strategy, have some tactics that is going to take advantage of this Isaac Hayden before it gets too late. You see me? Isaac Hayden, the best midfielder that we have, and I think this is the best that it's going to get, especially for Jamaica in the near future. Isaac Hayden. The last thing that I'm going to talk about that's a positive from these two games is that Jamaica is just of superior quality to the rest of the Caribbean. Come on, people. We're playing Trinidad and Tobago. We're supposed to be the next best or top three in the Caribbean. And come on, we're playing without 6 of our starters, if I'm not mistaken. It might be 7. We're playing with so many of our starters out. And I think they had maybe 1 starter out. And we won the game comfortably. You see me? And this is the next best. This is supposed to be the team that is going to challenge in the group. And look how much better we are than them. No, there's a reason why we're better than them. I don't think we are as cohesive. I don't think we have the chemistry that Trinidad and Tobago have, but we have more quality than them in individual areas. So I rather see if us I create 5 opportunities. You see me, I Billy Kada Marty, you take a ball and jump past 2 man and kick it near post. It's gonna happen. Then me Dexter let me kiss a bomb down the win and put in a square, and that'll be a quality square. And where I get from the end of it. You see me, these are the things that I talk about. So this just drove the nail into the coffin that we are the best team in the Caribbean by far and away. Yes, I mean, now let's get into some of the bad things about the 2 games that I saw. I think the first thing is just poor coaching. This is just poor coaching. This Jamaica team is just relying on individual ability. This Jamaica team is just relying on individual players to win the game and create goal scoring moments. I think there was one time where we beat the Trinidad and Tobago press and we made some good combinations and got up to the pitch and then we turned it back. Tyrese Campbell just turn it back. Doesn't mean I didn't like that. But overall, I think this team lacks identity. I think this coach shows that he's unable to make adjustments on the fly. I think this coach shows that he's some would say, not some would say, I would say this coach showed that football has passed him. We're in a modern age that I think this Jamaican team is so easy to coach. And I'm not saying I'm the man to do it, but from a fan's perspective, from a football student perspective, this team should be so easy to coach. When I look at the areas of the team that needs improvement or the areas of the team that needs to be worked on, it should be so easy to coach. The team lack style of play, the team lack identity. The team look like it is just so disjointed. The defense are play them own game. The midfield, in fact, all 3 players in the midfield are play them own game, and then the midfield itself are play its own game. The attackers are play them own game. The wingers are play them own game. The forward are play them own game. Jamaica is not a team. We're not moving up the pitch together. We're not defending together. Our wingers are not helping our wing backs. Our defensive midfielders are not sliding and shuffling across. Isaac Hayden alone a drop between the 2 centre, but them are not trying to control the game. But overall coaching, you can see that this is just poor coaching all around, people. Jamaica, I think this coach should be able to see that we're not blessed with a great midfield. All right, we have an anchor, we have Isaac Hayden. You put John Russell beside him, who is not an awful player. You put Casey Palmer, who I will reserve my opinions on Casey Palmer. But what then should you do if you don't have good players? If you don't have the greatest midfield or the most ball, the greatest ball playing midfield, what then should you do? Just think about it. Why then is there so much space in the midfield, even when we have the ball, that your midfielders can't even pass a ball to their midfielder, to their midfield partner? There's too much space in the midfield. You already don't have a good midfield. Meaning that the man them are always out of possession because they're not that good. Meaning that the man them now go have the tightest touch because they're not that good. Meaning that the man them now go find the best passes because they're not that good. Why don't you not then keep that midfield trio together up the park? Tell them to stay at least 15 to 20, no further than 25 yards away from each other, whether ahead, behind, or to the side. Keep the midfield trio together. Keep them moving together whenever we have the ball. Tell them don't get too far from each other. But yeah, look, Isaac Hayden have the ball, and the next closest midfielder is 50, 60 yards up the pitch. 50, 60 yards wide of him. Forget the ball to him. Have to play a long ball to him. That shouldn't be, people. You see me, because we already don't have a good midfield, which means that we are going to lose the ball in the midfield a lot, and we are going to be out of position even more. So why don't you ask those midfielders and ask the team to play closer together? Why not? Why demand them with two other midfielders outside Isaac Hayden bomb up the pitch and go and left him alone in the middle? When we lose the ball at him alone, there is space to the left of him, there's space to the right of him. It not take a genius to see these things and not take a genius to work on these things. And that is why I say Steve McLaren, I don't know, the man show one little brilliance in a Unity Cup. One little brilliance. And then outside of that, him show brilliance in a Unity Cup and then him show some brilliance against Guatemala. In terms of coaching, I'm looking for the coaching and tactics side of the game. I would not see no tactics from the man, brother. I can't tell you how Jamaica try to play. Jamaica get the ball, we try and knock it round between the defenders 2 times, and then boom, long ball up the pitch. Me not see nobody try to break the line. Richard King is a good player off the ball. I'm not care what level you're at, but Richard King can control the ball, Richard King can pass the ball, Richard King is so confident on the ball. Damian Lowe can play the football. All right, Lex Lemiki says that the greatest, Greg Lee is not the greatest. Isaac Hayden is a ball player. Casey Palmer is okay. John Rossi is okay. Who is breaking the line? Which one of our defenders are trying to play that midfield splitting pass? Who is trying to knock? Where is Richard King trying to knock the ball between the spaces into John Russell to turn and play a ball into our winger? Where is baiting the press and dinking it over to our wing back? How we not see none of them little thing there? Where's the combination play? Where is the them are double up CFAS now? Alright, Greg Lee, go and help. Go and create a 2v2 instead of a 1v2 or a 2v1. Alright, I am about Dexter Lemke. Alright, Greg Lee, you stay back a bit, but here what? Casey Palmer, you join Ronaldo CFAS from the backside. Alright, Billy Kadamata, you come off and swivel and make a run towards the corner flag for draw when I defender them off. How come we not see none of them little things there? That is football basics. Just allow your winger to get 1v1. Alright, allow 2v1 if you say. Alright, sometimes you're going to allow it. But how come we not see an adjustment? The man them start Ronaldo Sivas for the first 20-25 minutes of the game was having his way with the Trinidad and Tobago right back. He was having his way. He was getting past him every single time. After that, where's the way do? Double him up. Where was our response? Where was our response? Where was Ronaldo Sivas switching wing now for your next 20 minutes? Where was our response? Poor coaching. We need forward thinking coaches, brother. We need vision from our coaching. We need adjustable coaches. We need coaches that are flexible, can think on the move. In game management, all these coaches, you know the predictable substitutions. Oh, Kaim Dixon come on, Shaman Nichols not come on. Oh, we know that. I mean, I said them nothing come on, people, but where is changing it up? Where is playing in phases? All right, for this first 10 minutes of the game, we're going to attack them, and then for the next 15 minutes, we're going to try and control the game. They're going to pass the ball around, keep midfield possession. All right, we're probe. We're not flinging the bag of crosses into the box. Cool. For the final 10 minutes of the game, we just get the ball out and wide and lump in crosses. Front post, hard and low. All right, back post, looping crosses. All right, pull back. Where is playing in phases for Jamaica? How come we not see none of them little thing there from with team, brother? How come it's just, get the ball up the field, dump the ball up the field, and then just try to make something happen? Ronaldo Sifas or Bailey Kadamati. How come that we see? How come we not see no tactics, brother? We spend so much money on this coach, we think we're going to get somebody we know the game and I go try take advantage of the thing. Them. We don't see it, Bridging. We don't see it. We don't see it. Where is John Russell making all those late runs into the box? The one time it happened, the man scored a goal. Where is it? Poor coaching. And I know I go on for a rant a while ago, people. I didn't mean to. We won 2 games and we are in prime position to make it to the World Cup. But people are really expected that. I'm not going to get excited until the last game when we actually make it to the World Cup. Then we're going to celebrate. Because the truth is, this is what I expected Jamaica to do. We're supposed to do this. Isn't it? This is a farmer farming. This is a barber cutting here. We're supposed to do this. This is the easiest possible group that we could have gotten. Isn't it? So, me not excited. And so, when me there, so I want to talk about the negatives, I just say, go people. Me gonna move on from the coaching door, but I hope somebody send this to the coach because we are not pleased. We have such good players in relation to the players that they're playing against. How come Trinidad and Tobago and Bermuda all have so much possession against Jamaica, brother? Because we don't know how to play in phases, people. That is why. Because for the entire game, we are chase. No, and that's a football play. All right, you come out and for the first 20 minutes, you attack them down the wings, cool. For the next 5 minutes, why not just keep the ball, brother? Keep the ball away from them. You score a goal, you still have pressure them, keep the ball away from them. Probe. Only make the forward pass when it's sure. All right, when them overcome it now, then we attack them. Why we just give them the ball and they win the counter attack for 90 minutes? We are counter attack for 90 minutes. Nobody plays football like that. And the average man now go see them thing. The average thing just see first just a run go to the touchline and now end product. Oh, Richard King just a kick out the ball. Yes, because that is the instructions where them I get, brother. or the lack of instructions that they're not getting. Come on. But anyways, as I say, me I move on, car. It's a rant. I'm gonna try to make it a rant video. Um, the next negative is Richard King. I think Richard King is having his worst run for the Reggae Boys. He's having his worst run, and he got bailed out a couple of times by offside goals, especially that first when I don't know what he was doing. It's even in the first game, Richard King was just poor. He's just kicking away the ball. Every time Richard King get the ball, he just a try play a long ball. Not good enough. Richard King tackling is just not as good as it's supposed to be. The ball playing side of his game, which is really good, we not get to see it because again him just a kick with the ball. Him not try make those midfield run that him normally make. Him not try make those midfield passes that him normally make. And so Richard King need to get it together. I don't like what I'm seeing from our backup centre back. Mason will get no look any special either. Any bit special either. But Richard King is supposed to be better than what we're seeing. Same way in the Gold Cup, a Gold Cup or a Nations League, him give we a goal same way. Come on, do better than this, Richard King. Alright, it never cost us. But I see the signs. I mean, I'll go on and on about it. Richard King, top player, a player that I really like. I perform in Scotland. But Richard King, do better. Okay, the next player I'm going to talk about is Casey Palmer. And the only thing I'm going to say is Casey Palmer need for the better people. Casey Palmer, oh my God. You can't see that Casey Palmer is just almost like a headless chicken, brother. It's almost like in him head, him thinking of Ronaldinho, but him body just now work with him. Straight up and down. And Casey Palmer is a midfielder that is always out of position, which me not get. How him not know how to help him defensive midfielder? I don't get it. But again, me not go on and on. I think me talk too much about the tactics and the football side of the game. Casey Palmer do better. The final thing me I got to talk about, not the final thing, but the final negative that I'm going to highlight is Mikel Antonio being a part of this team is just awful. In the capacity as a player, it's just awful. I don't know what we're trying to do. I don't know if we're trying to save the career of Mikel Antonio. I don't know if somebody promised him that he's going to always be a part of the Reggae Boy setup as long as he's fit, but it don't make no sense. And we shouldn't be doing this. Mikel Antonio is not going to play. Mikel Antonio cannot make the team. He cannot make the team, so I don't see why he's here. Until Mikel Antonio get a senior contract and Mikel Antonio is playing football and earn him call up, he's not supposed to be in the team, people. Now, me and somebody argue about this yesterday. But me I tell them, say, instead of calling Mikel Antonio to sit on the bench, don't call Mikel Antonio. Call somebody else that we're going to need in the future. Call Whisper. Even if Whisper not ready for the game yet, all right, Whisper just come back on him. All right, maybe you say him might get up to speed. You don't want to rush him back or whatever. Call him, make him come sit down on the bench. Him get break anyways, an international break. Him get break. Him probably in a Jamaica anyways. Call him, make him come sit down on the bench. Get used to the coach. Him not meet the coach yet. Dejan Richards not meet the coach yet. Get back used to the setup. Get back used to the players. It's been over a year. These are the small things we may talk about where this coach is just lacking, brother. You can't call Mikel Antonio at a time like this. Mikel Antonio shouldn't be at the World Cup. Mikel Antonio is beyond his best. You watch Mikel Antonio highlights against the under 21s, brother, in England. The man just try to bully the man. The man just try to run every minute him a drop. He can't run past some 18-year-old. I mean, even if I get to the under 21s, look for Mikel Antonio in at the Gold Cup. Not good enough again. Again, just try to bully people. Again, just try to run past people. Now have no touch, now have no shot, now have nothing. Losing power, losing speed, losing ability to create something out of nothing. And that is his greatest ability for Jamaica. Creating nothing out of something, holding up the ball. Him not have none of that, so I don't see where I'm going to bring to this team. Now, if you have him in an experience capacity, if you have him in a guidance capacity, which I don't think he would be the best player to even have that. Call Mariapa for do that. Call Ricardo Fuller for do that. Call Bibi Gardner for do that. Call Pepe Goodison for do that. Why you call? That's the last negative here, people. Because I get upset. Because me really not. I think we've just lost the plot. I think we've just lost the plot. I get me same at the last negative, but me highlight the next negative. I was a fan of the Rudolph Speed move being up. I was a fan of the move where Rudolph Speed was assigned as the technical advisor for Steve McLaren for these next 6 games or for the rest of the World Cup qualifying campaign. I was a fan of it. I think Rudolph Speed is one of the best football minds in the country. He's definitely one of the best coaches in the country. He knows the Caribbean landscape. I think he studies the game well. When you hear them on the talk, you can tell them on they study the game and know him things. See? Where him tell Steve McLaren about these 2 games, because Jamaica don't look any different. Steve McLaren, when him tell Steve McLaren, him not tell him same need for play with a midfield. Him not tell him same for need for play football. And break up the game in segments and break up the field in thirds. Him not tell him say if he play a team we can pass the ball and stop kick with the ball. Hmm? Him not tell him say these oppositions shouldn't be having 50% of possession over Jamaica. Him not tell him them thing there. What am I advise him say? Because why Jamaica don't look any different than we've looked over the years, over the last 5 years? We don't look any different. Disjointed. Long ball FC. No composure, no polishing. What am I tell him say? Me that love you know. But anyways, that. The last thing now, the actual last thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is what I've been hearing people saying, right? Is a valid question actually. Do the starters that were missing in this game, you know, the Andre Blake, Liam Bailey, Demarai Gray, Bobby Reed, Ethan Pinnock, Amari Bell, um, do those players just return to the setup as starters? My opinion on this is yes. I think yes. I think those players are not going to hurt the team if they return because the truth is the problems that this Jamaica team have those stem from those players being missing. We don't have a winger problem. Tyrese Campbell is not doing anything that Liam Bailey didn't do. You see me? Obviously, Demar Gray losing his spot on the left wing. I see for spot that. But Casey Palmer did not do nothing where Demar Gray can do or not do. Greg Lee not do nothing where Amari Bell can or not do. Now, our problems don't lie with these starters. It's not. I don't think it's a situation where the starters are comfortable and therefore they're not playing their best game. No. Whether we play with first string or with second string, will look the same. If you tell me now, when if the starters were here, right, and we played Bermuda, would I give them 8? No. Would I give them the same 4? Can we see it time and time again? Maybe 5. But I see him thing would have happened. If the starters played Trinidad and Tobago, we'd have given them the same 2, maybe 3. But the same thing would have happened. We wouldn't be pleased with the performance anyways. And we'd have still get the result because we are just better than the opponent. Individually. And so make the man them return to the field to the squad brother, make the man them regain them starting spot, especially the ones that have been representing Jamaica well. You see me? And so that's my opinion upon it. Make the man them return, brother. No, make it be that there's opportunity for the players that obviously turn up and has been playing well. But I don't think outside of Bailey Kadamati, I don't think there's one player that has put themselves into a starting spot that wasn't already in a starting spot based on these 2 games. You see me, Tyrese Campbell he can't start over Liam Bailey. Greg Lee had okay two he had 2 okay games. Now no, him not doing enough to start over Amari Bell. Casey Palmer do not for start over either Bobby Reed or Demar Gray. You see me? Who else? Who else missing? Yes, those are the starters. Andre Blake, obviously Jamal Wade can't do nothing for start over Andre Blake. So make the man return to the team. Don't make this more than what it is. We just love to create a story. Love to find a problem with things. The team is going to be the team. And people don't expect Jamaica to be any better. Don't expect us to somehow come in October and start playing great football. I would be surprised if that happened. But expect more of the same. Expect it to be a disjointed team. Expect our individual quality to get us across the line. Straight up and down. Anyway, people, we that. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe. And do one more thing for me, share the video to at least 10 people get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that would get us by the end of the day? But for now, this was that Sports TV. I'm gone.